Super Mario RPG is the greatest game of all time, and it deserves Game of the Year. Fuck you. What's some of the nominees again? That's how you know, like, that's how much I love that game right now.
Baldur's Gate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, RPG, you might be a little shit out of luck there.
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Acid Flip.
Actually, you might be able to beat that.
Mario Wonder. And then there were two more. I forgot what they were.
They were not that important then.
I actually do hold on.
Did you forgore? You forgore, David?
I forgore. It's too early in the morning for Double D's in the morning, 97.1.
Live from Times Square.
Dude, if they ever put our dumbasses on Times Square.
On them Jumbotrons?
It was the Resident Evil 4 remaster, and also not important, Spider-Man 2. Not important. That's not important. Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Damn. Bunch of these, like, autistic gamers just gonna be coming after me. It's just like, no, Spider-Man 2, it's the greatest game of all time. I mean, I haven't tried it yet because I'm a PC guy and I'm not gonna buy like a $500 system just so I could play Spider-Man.
Yeah. Because
I know that shit's gonna be coming to us eventually. So it's like, I could wait. And I've seen the gameplay and cutscenes already. So, you know, I already knew what was gonna happen. So
men are willing to wait so long for a game to get ported over to their system instead of buying the new system and getting the benefits of that system.
Well,
but they're not willing to wait.
Well, pussy.
For a woman they just met at a bar, like 2 nights prior. I will say, by doing that, I went way out of my comfort zone. And I was proud of myself for that.
It's because you grew up, man. That's why. If, like I said, if you were 5 years younger, and if anyone here was also 5 years younger, they, like, you know, none of the audience actually knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Fuck it. I am going to talk about this. Actually, you know what? Let's do it, because it's good. Welcome to the Double D Experience, guys.
But I wanted to talk about RPG first.
We will. You want to talk about RPG first before I tell the story?
Yes, I have a segue for this. Don't worry. The whole time I'm going to be talking about this, I'm going to be like, fuck, I need to think about it.
Dude, I was going to make a whole joke about, like, how I got the Double D Experience the other night, and, like, ugh. Fine. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it anyway. But it's more so about a personal growth thing rather than like being like, oh, look at David. Oh, look. I don't want to be that podcast where it's just like, yo, guys, and I'm telling you, her ass was this big. Yo, bro, that's so I will fucking off myself. I will rope before I ever become that fucking douchebag podcast where they just talk about women they fucked publicly. Like, on a fucking, like, sphere.
Or even name drop them.
Like, you are a fucking piece of subhuman shit if you do that. Yeah, and her name was fucking Roberta, and Roberta's ass was this fucking big, bro.
Why does Roberta sound like the most dykey fucking, like, thing?
Whoa.
Because it sounds like, you know, like, she's not, my name's Roberta. It's like, I'm Roberta. Like, mad butchy. It's like, hey, yo, Roberta, what's up?
Can we talk about the fucking role-playing game, please? This is... Oh my god. See, this is why we could never be on Times Square. This is why we could never be on those monitors in Manhattan. Because you're gonna say shit like that and call a name Dykey.
They'll just censor it!
And then all of a sudden, how are we gonna censor it if we're live from New York? It's Saturday night.
Damn, that'd be one loud-ass beep in Times Square, though.
Oh my god! Like,
yo, your ears
people would freak
hurt.
out. They'd be like, "Oh!" Like in the street, like they like to be covering themselves, like the apocalypse is happening and shit.
Because of all like the problematic crap that I would say, and like everyone, like they don't even care anymore. They just hate me because it's like, bro, what the fuck? I'm just trying to walk through Times Square, and like you're assaulting my ears.
It would be like that scene from Smiling Friends. Did you see do you remember the Mr. Frog episode? If you've watched Smiling Friends?
No, I've only seen clips. Unfortunately,
okay.
Have you ever seen that show?
Have you ever seen that clip where like the frog character is on Jimmy Fallon?
Mm-mm.
And like they're making fun of Jimmy Fallon because everything like he says, he's like ha 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 ha,
yeah.
And like slapping everything. It's like, so what is it? What is it like being Mr. Fuck Jimmy Fallon, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like, what was your least favorite part of working on Mr. Frog? He's like, oh, I don't know, probably working with all those filthy like a million censors like live on the show, and everyone's jaw just drops. That would be like the fucking Double D experience.
Like our live audience heard everything, but everyone watching it broadcasted would just be like, "It's like, what did he say? What do you think he said?"
Oh my god, dude. The thing is, though, with you, it's not genuine racism, like Mr. Frog said. Like, he's like, oh, I hate working with those filthy fucking blah, 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 blah. Like, you were just making a dumb joke. Like, he was serious. Yeah. He's like,
I wouldn't even think about it. That's also pretty bad. Like, not that...
There was a guy... I was just watching this morning. It's like, he kind of gives off some autistic vibes. He's like this Mario Golf speedrunner. He plays Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. And I swear to God, it's like background noise for me. And I swear to God, watching it, and I think he's, I don't know, I'm not making a predisposition about him, but like with the way he talks, he sounds kind of gay. Like, I think he's literally gay. And so he described one of the shots he made. Like, I can't even, like, I don't even feel comfortable necessarily repeating it, but like, I swear to God, he straight up said like, oh, that was kind of like a defagatory shot. And I'm like, what did he just say? I was like, holy shit.
Oh, what?
Like, where did that come from? Oh my God.
And he out of pocket.
And I guess if he actually is gay, he has the pass, so it's like, it's whatever. But still, it's like, I have never heard him say that in like the, swear to God, like years that I've watched the guy. And I rewinded and repeated it to make sure. I'm like, there's no way that's what he said. And then like he went again, and that's what he fucking said. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's actually really funny though.
From like a Mario Golf speedrunner. Holy crap. That was crazy.
Holy crap.
Holy crap. Oh my God, what the lump? Oh, can't believe they shipped like Lumpy Space Princess was lemon crab. He was I find you acceptable.
I have to say, my sister, she's on a lot of streaming platforms. Like she's subscribed to a lot. I think. Forgot which one it was, but I think one of them had a lot of older Cartoon Network shows. And bro, I'm gonna tell you some fuck shit, okay? There's gonna be a range of fuck shit to like, really cool shit, because I watched Gravity Falls again for the first time in like many years. And I was like, this show is charming as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And like, I forgot how good this show was. And I felt like such an idiot afterwards. We watched like the first couple episodes, because then I realized like, oh, I fucking, like, I literally was just like head in my hands for a second, because I was like, I said out loud, it's like, oh my fucking God, I literally spoiled that goddamn finale for myself. Like, yeah. I watched it on YouTube like an idiot. And like, I remember at least like the show and the build up, the fandom, just like, fucking God. Like, I even, Connie, what was it? My sister, she actually even, She like corrected me, because I was like, I thought it was on Cartoon Network. She's like, no, it's on Disney XD. Or it was on Disney XD, and I was just like, it was? Because I could have sworn, like in my head, I was just like,
slightly more story oriented and episodic shows, or they're like slightly more mature ones, or they're more mature-ish cartoons. Not that Gravity Falls is. They will put on Disney XD for like the more like. Okay, we want a young, like, preteen to teenage audience, maybe like young kid or whatever, or adults who still watch cartoons, really, for Disney XD. And that actually reminds me, Dennis, well, two things. One, I was once on a hentai website, and there was a parody of Gravity Falls on there called Gravity's Balls. I did not click on it. I did not click on that shit for reasons you can probably understand. Just had to make sure that was in the sphere. That was important to the conversation. Two, I wanted to make a deal with you.
Okay.
If you watch The Venture Brothers,
okay,
I will watch Breaking Bad, and we can check each other.
Does that include Better Call Saul? Because that's all in the same universe.
Fuck,
it's all one timeline.
Fuck, it is all in the same universe.
All one franchise.
But that is a lot of television, man. Okay, it's all on
Venture
Netflix, right?
Brothers. Still. I could check. Let me see.
Yeah, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is Netflix, right? Yeah.
Because I think a lot of AMC stuff, like including Walking Dead and all that, I think it's still up there.
Because the thing is, Dennis, I really want you to experience The Venture Brothers. I really do. And you have been begging me to watch Breaking Bad for years. And so, like, I'm not going to ask you to watch The Venture Brothers and, like, not have a fair trade-off here. Because I was literally thinking about this the other day. I'd be like, oh, that's a great idea. And then we could, like, check each other on the podcast, like, fucking report cards. Be like, so how much did you watch this week, David? And it's like...
it's there.
Yeah, it's like, how much did you watch this week, David? It'd be like, I forgot.
There's also the movie El Camino, which
do I really have to watch El Camino? I heard it wasn't even good.
I actually liked it. I didn't think it was as bad as people said. I mean, it wasn't that like great either. I mean, I know Vince Gilligan and everyone made it, but I'm just like, it was alright. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good wrap up to Jesse's story. It didn't need an hour and 40 minutes, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
More Breaking Bad. Fuck it, whatever.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Because it could have been an episode. It could have been 3 episodes.
I really want you to experience the Venture Brothers, and I can't ask you to do that like without making a fair trade-off. So if this is the way to finally get me to watch Breaking Bad, then maybe this is this is the time. Breaking Bad is on Netflix. I'm 90% sure.
No.
Venture Brothers. It's on HBO Max.
I think we have Max. I might have to ask my sister on that.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. Yeah.
Hey, okay. So
shake.
We're gonna shake on that.
Shake. That's a deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, nice. I've been wanting to do that for about a week now, or 2 weeks now when it comes to my mind. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And the best part is that we could fucking report card each other, like, on the podcast when we come in. So, what happened? Like, how far are you in a season?
Not to mention, too, it's like, we could also, it'll also give us something to do. Because I have a lot of, like, it's like after dinner and, like, but before, like, I go to sleep, I have, like, a good couple hours. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I might as well. Like, as I'm, like, even just working on my decks here, like, I could probably just, like, pull up Venture Brothers and just, like, have it up there as I'm watching.
Yeah, I should do the same thing, honestly, like, with when I'm editing the podcast and shit. Well, not editing the podcast, I guess making the thumbnails and shit, but, like, yeah. Fuck that. Like, Breaking Bad is like an hour-long show. It's so much. I should have picked Invincible. Fucking 8 episodes.
But season 2 is still ongoing.
Ooh,
so
yeah,
like,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Which,
yeah.
Oh my god, I have so much shit to watch. Not to mention, even like movies-wise, I have Napoleon to watch just because I love
You want to
Napoleon.
see that with me and my dad? My dad wants to see that movie. He's actually a huge history buff, my father.
Is he really?
Yeah, I feel like you and my dad would honestly really hit it off. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn, I'd be kind of down for that.
Yeah.
I just need to watch it first with my girlfriend because she always says like, it's so cute. It's like, any movie that comes out, I want to get first dibs watching with you. Then you can watch with anyone else.
That's sweet.
Because
we talk about Napoleon for a second, or like you see in the movie, like your girlfriend gets first dibs. Yeah, that's adorable. I love that. Honestly, like, you are mine, mister. I get to see the movies with you first.
That was another movie, though.
I want to thank Jen, if she's listening to this podcast, for loving you. I want to thank that. Like, thank you for loving him so much.
Thank you for loving this fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He's also unemployed.
Thank you for loving my dear friend, because I want him to be loved, because I love him too. Like, and so I thank you for loving him, Jen.
And then she's going to be like, back up, Jack.
Back up, Jack. It's like, no, bitch, I didn't mean it like that. I'm not of the gay.
He's not of the gay.
Yeah.
He actually hates the gays, guys.
I do love...
Put that in writing.
I do love Jen.
Hates the gays. No.
Jesus Christ. No. I do love Jen very much for loving you. And that means a lot to me, honestly. So,
thank you. Maybe if you heard that.
It's pretty sweet, right?
Probably just going to put that in Discord real quick. It's like, David said he thanks you for loving me.
No, David said, I love her for loving you.
She's like, I'm not really interested in white guys.
No, not like that. Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding.
Nobody understands me. Nobody gets me. Nobody fucking understands. Okay, whatever.
Well, wait, I wanted to talk about
I was going to
RPG.
say, like, it was definitely, I was about to segue too. Yeah, like, it's time.
This wasn't even a segue. I'm just, like, literally getting the train back on track here.
Super Mario RPG.
All right, guys.
It is the only one just for me. What if it wasn't a one-player game? Something about it just isn't the same.
Everything about this game, and this is me coming into the game as a remake boy, not an OG boy, because I know there's a lot of OG guys who, like, played the original. You did
not play the original, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was beyond my time, because I was an N64 boy, not a Super Nintendo. Which, I guess around that time, it did make sense, because when my parents bought me the N64, it was, like, the next big thing until, like, the first PlayStation blew it out of the fucking water. So, I guess it made sense. But, like, because I remember going to a lot of kids' houses when I was young, and, like, they usually had either only an N64, just like me, or they would have a Super Nintendo as well. I never saw an NES, like, ever. I don't think I ever saw one at any kid's house, because I think even for a lot of parents, they even thought, like, okay, that's a little dated. Like, for what we have, available today, like, for, like, people to enjoy, like, as far as games go. And even, like, the PlayStation 1, like, again, blew everything that Nintendo built at that point, like, out of the water, like, just hardware-wise. And even, I'd even like to say, like, I think PlayStation as well had plenty of games that were, like, up there as culturally significant as Nintendo 64's library. Like, Ratchet and Clank and, like, Final Fantasy especially. Like, there's plenty of games in PlayStation 1 that, like, is up there. And if not, maybe even, like, right up to them. Now, I don't think any one of them kind of exceed the other. Maybe Super Mario 64 does, just because it's Super Mario 64.
Over what again?
What do you mean?
Over what, you said? You were comparing it to something else? Like...
Oh, like, at least, like, some of, like, PlayStation games, like Final Fantasy 7 is still culturally significant, but, like, it's Super Mario 64. Like, this game got untouched entirely in that collection.
Yeah, like, every Final Fantasy 7 fan tells me you need to play the original first before you play the remake, and then Crisis Core, and then the remake and stuff. And, like, they're right, and I get that. But at the same time, the original, man. It's like, he's walking over a JPEG. When you're on the world map, he really is. Like, it looks like a fucking JPEG image. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on Final Fantasy 7. Let's just be real. Graphically, it has not aged well, and considering the fact that it was on a more powerful hardware as well than the N64, but I will say that... It was
great for its time. We're not taking nothing away from it. Like, it was still amazing.
Its own franchise. Final Fantasy VII is its own franchise. There were very few people who were kind of mad that Sephiroth was in Smash Brothers, because they're like, oh, another Final Fantasy VII character specifically? Like, we couldn't have maybe gotten Noctis. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking Sephiroth. And why does that sentence trump every argument? Because Final Fantasy VII is its own franchise at this point. It literally is.
Final Fantasy VII is like, guys, mind you, Final Fantasy VII got a remake.
It got a fucking movie.
Got a movie. Got a lot of other shitty games too, now that I think about it, but like, Dirge of Cerberus was pretty fucking bad.
They're in Kingdom Hearts.
And they're in Kingdom Hearts, yeah. So, I would have loved to see, like, Lightning, like, some people from, like, the other games, like 13 and others. Like, maybe they will, I guess, happen in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Maybe.
Because that's also on the fucking pipeline too, which,
that's true, yeah.
Like, so, like, at least,
like, I thought they would take game's not going to come out till our kids are in middle school.
The thing is too, like, no, like, Square Enix said, like, no, this won't take 20 years like the last time, because, like, they're a little bit...
I'm pretty fucking done getting gaslit.
Wait.
I'm pretty done with that shit.
They said they're going to be basically moving on to 4's development more. They're going to be focusing on it a little more after 7 is finished. So 7 is already on the cusp of being finished anyways.
Yeah, it's coming out in May, isn't it? Or March?
Maybe next year, May, spring, around there, I think. Yeah. So going back to RPG, like, it's a perfect segue because, as David has mentioned before, the game was co-made by the same people who made our favorite Boy in Light and our favorite, RPG from 1996.
Never
1996.
Forget that board meeting that happened when they decided to make the first ever Mario role-playing game.
Wait, was there, like,
Miyamoto was sitting there in his chair. He's like, I want to make a Mario RPG. Who makes the best RPGs in the industry right now? And this guy's just like raising his like, you have to speak up.
But Squaresoft. They weren't Square Enix yet.
Why is there Squaresoft? Why are you describing a fucking shapes to me right now?
I thought it was Hard Square. That's such a stupid name. It's such a dumb name.
Well, I just go the SpongeBob with it. Like, that was an oval. It has to be a circle. Oh my god, the Square Enix Square. Yeah, but no, that you gotta remember, Nintendo literally made the best possible choice and be like, hey, we're gonna make a Mario role-playing game. And we're gonna get the fucking
You're gonna make it.
We're gonna get the fucking kings and queens, the greatest of all time of the genre. Practically invented it really. Like the
Basically,
role-playing game,
it's true.
yeah.
It's true.
To make this. That is why Mario RPG had the cult following that it does, has the cult following that it still does, and got a remaster almost like 17-ish, 18 years later.
Deserved it.
For one of the best consoles Nintendo ever made, because it is literally Square Enix's portrayal of the Mario universe, and that is what is so charming about it, is seeing like the other creative minds get to that. It's a really interesting thing. It'd be like, oh, what if like Gender Tarkovsky made like a Jimmy Neutron reboot? This is how he views Jimmy Neutron, like just something random in my head. You know, like what if something like that happened?
Kind of crazy, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's just charming. It's like, oh, how would that work? You know? Except Mario RPG is one of those things that exists. It literally, the original Mario RPG game, Dennis, it literally feels like a fucking fan-made Mario Flash game. It really does, but it's not. It's an official fucking Mario game, and that's part of what's so charming about it. So the fact that Nintendo,
seal right there,
and so the fact that Nintendo fucking rebooted it at all, as well as making a remaster of Thousand Year Door, let's go! I like the direction this company is going in right now.
But mind you, this is also coming to the end of the Switch's life cycle or product cycle.
Most likely, yeah.
It's essentially almost over. I think by next year we're gonna get a couple more bangers, and they're gonna have that announcement eventually at one of their one of the games conventions or even a Nintendo Direct, and they're just gonna be like, "Guys, it's been fun, but
it's time to run.
But it's time to retire the Switch." And then it comes with the Switch 2, like, you know, whatever. Like, it's probably
you could put the same fucking chips inside it, and it'd make it look better.
Guys, next year, I mean, this year, Nintendo's already been killing it, TBH. They've been killing it more than anybody.
Spring Direct. It's going to get announced in a Spring Direct, I'm telling you.
No, but I'm just talking about, like, even this year. Like, they've been killing it. Like,
they got
2023.
2 games nominated for Game of the Year.
That?
Nintendo got 2 games nominated for Game of the Years. I don't think that's ever happened.
Super Mario movie.
And the movie.
The movie was, I think, personally, I don't know if I could say that it was like culturally significant, but it did now set the benchmark of like, you can make video game movies and it could actually do well.
Because why the Zelda movie, I'm a little
It did so, yeah, exactly. It did so well now that that's why they even announced the Zelda movie, which I am very kind of iffy on now because like they got a weirdo to fucking write and produce that movie, which
it's the guy who made Morbius.
Yeah. So
dude,
why him?
We all thought the Mario movie was going to be bad too, and some people eventually thought it was. I know.
They should have gotten Gendy on that shit, bro.
Everyone wanted Gendy. Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah.
That was just off the top of my head. I was like, they could have gotten Gendy.
You're not the only person who said that. He would have been perfect. But unfortunately,
a gritty
settle
Zelda
for fucking Morbius.
It's Lincoln time. You know, he's actually. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I found an Easter egg. I found an Easter egg in RPG where if you visit some of like the hotels or like the little like rest spots that are around in the towns,
they give you a hooker.
No.
Was I right?
No.
Holy shit, you got so quiet.
There is a Easter eggs where you could see Link.
Oh yeah.
And also Samus like sleeping in one of the beds. And I remember seeing that and I was just like, I fucking love this game.
That was in the original.
Yeah. Those and then also even the subsequent and also in the subsequent RPGs afterwards, like in Superstar Saga and a couple others. Saw the same thing as well. You saw a lot of other other characters in there.
Yeah,
there's like in the Bean Castle. Yeah,
I remember in like the
there's like that coffee
the Yoshi
coffee shop.
The coffee shop where you see Egad. There's the Yoshi Theater where there's like a poster for like a Kirby movie and stuff. It's like so it's all there. They kind of.
I'm gonna gush about this game for a bit. Please. Because again, this was a game that was before my time, at least the original.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I want to hear this.
I fucking find this game so just mesmerizingly charming. It is insane how much just love is in this game first. And mind you, this is a remake from an OG game that came out in like what 1998, 1996? Six.
Yeah.
So from fucking at that point, it's like 27 years ago, maybe 37 years ago.
To be precise, 10, 20...
27.
Oh shit! Really?
I literally just have to minus my age for my birthday. Yeah,
no, I didn't even realize shit. Yeah, oh my god!
20 from a 27-year-old game.
Almost 30.
Almost 30. The game is as old as a functioning adult who's unemployed. So, like, so I'm saying, like, you know, it's for a remake, you know, and I'm not saying like, you know, like, oh, like remakes are bad in any way, but it's just more so like it's just so. I think they poured everything they've learned over the past 27 years and about aesthetics and design into this game. Like, I thought I was gonna have some beef with Chubby Mario, but I find every single one of the characters, like especially even Chubby Mario, like, you know, just they're hella charming. Aesthetically wise, like I think this game is just like colors, design, and even just like design choices as well. Because mind you, like all the backgrounds we see in the game and the environments were all fucking JPEGs in the past. They've literally made this JPEG ass world come to life in our year, 2023. And I even would love to think that, you know, they've, mind you, okay, like the other subsequent RPGs that have come out since the Legend of the Seven Stars, you know, have kind of like, they peaked. I know maybe some people might agree to disagree for this, but like it peaked at Thousand Year Door, and it's just kind of been like this little weird wave up and down since then. And I haven't played, and then mind you, this is coming from a guy who's, my last one that I played was Thousand Year Door, and the other ones that have come since, like I have not touched. Maybe I will one day, but I know for a lot of people, like they didn't want the remake for the game after Thousand Year Door. They wanted a remake for Thousand Year Door. And mind you, I even want a remake of the original too. Like, would be fucking hype. But I understand why like they chose a Thousand Year Door first, because it was just like, I think it's one of the most like culty loved fucking games I've ever seen. Like, it's actually crazy considering like for a lot of Nintendo games, it's like you kind of like sometimes are surprised by the crazy following that they have. Because at least for the sake of Wind Waker, when it came out first, a lot of people did not fucking like it. But once people actually played it, they're like, oh, this is actually pretty good. Like,
yeah.
So
like, I will say, might have peaked. You haven't played any of the other Mario and Luigi.
No, that's
RPGs,
why like I
right?
prefaced it by saying I haven't played anything past Thousand Year Door. Like at least as far as that franchise goes.
Personally think all the Mario and Luigi RPGs are still fucking great.
Oh no. But I was just thinking like of the big consoles. Yeah, obviously Superstar.
The big consoles. Yeah.
Superstar Saga, like thing I fucking loved. Like I have the remake of the DS version, like, and I'm still playing it, and I think I'm almost done with it. And I think that game as well, like even though like it's on handheld, it's like this game's charming as fuck. And I even, it's just that like for even Partners in Time as well, and like a few others that have come out. I think even the Peach game was along that same sort of design, right?
No, the Princess Peach game. No, that was a platformer. That was not an RPG at
all. What was it? The Bowser one then?
Yeah, you're thinking of Bowser's Inside Story,
Bowser, yeah,
which is my personal favorite of the Mario and Luigi RPGs because it is literally an RPG. So yeah, I have a copy. I will get it to you, or if you want to play the 3DS remaster, which I actually heard wasn't that good. It's like one of the lowest selling. No, it looks exactly the same as the Superstar Saga remaster, but the 3DS was at the end of its life cycle.
Yeah,
and they also skipped Partners in Time, which was weird. They didn't remake Partners in Time. Miyamoto probably looked back at it and thought like the whole alien invasion thing was too dark, and probably was like, I want to forget this game.
And yet they went to go collab with Rayman and the Rabbids. Okay,
yeah. Yeah, Bowser's Inside Story is literally an RPG starring fucking Bowser, which is so cool. And like,
oh my god,
the combat with Bowser feels amazing too. Like, I love that game so much. I gotta play the 3DS remaster. I have a copy of that game, by the way, not the 3DS remaster. You can borrow it, but anyway, yeah.
It is also just even a testament. And again, I'm not. We've shit on Nintendo many times on this show before, but like, it may even just be like this game, and even just knowing the history about like the first version from 1996, it's just a testament of like how, just very smart Nintendo is, and the fact that they chose another company to basically outsource to and make this game, and just giving them like the rights to the Mario IP and everything, and just telling them like, make a great game, but we're gonna keep an eye on you. Like, this was already 1996. Mario's, I think by that point, had already been established as like as an icon, I'd like to think. But he just got catapulted afterwards from Super Mario 64. Like, everyone who knew who Mario was. But now, like, fast forwarding to this year and like even just seeing this remake, and I think also Nintendo is starting to realize that, this, I don't like to think that this game making it, or the remake itself remaking it, was a low effort type of thing where like they could just like, oh, let's just make a remake or two every year, and like we'll just shell it out, and then people will buy it because like, it's just nostalgia bait, and people will literally just shell out money for it. And I mean, for a lot of these remakes, that kind of comes with the territory. I feel like they're kind of riding on people's nostalgia and like hoping that like that'll be the reason why like they'll pick up a copy. I picked up 2 copies and went like straight up schizo for Legacy Battle Network Collection, because I bought that shit twice. So like, mind you, like it kind of does work.
Game's so nice, gotta buy it twice.
It's like it kind of works, just saying. But like, as far as like, now I think
retweet to scare a pirater.
But now after this game, we have Thousand Year Door coming out, and I am very curious as to, let's say, now the other remakes that may be announced, because there's a couple games in Nintendo's history and in their library that like I feel as if should be ported over to the Switch. One of them was Wind Waker, because I'm gonna be real with you, no one is gonna be buying a Wii U just to play that remake. It's not going to happen. And I even like to think that Wind Waker is one of those games where it was very significant for Zelda's history, because for one, it was one of those few games that actually continued the story from a previous game, which was Ocarina of Time. I mean, people may even argue, well, Majora's Mask did the same thing. No, Majora's Mask may have been like a sequel to Ocarina, but it was its own completely separate story from whatever Ocarina like did. It was its own self-contained story. It had very little to do with Ocarina of Time. Wind Waker did. Wind Waker was an actual sequel to Ocarina of Time, and it was basically that, Link beat Ganon, but he never returned. And so Ganon came back, and then he also just basically wrecked shit. And then it got so bad to the point that the gods had to intervene, where they had to basically flood the whole fucking land. And there's all these little things in Wind Waker that, like, I think someone actually did a mod where he actually lowered the water levels and added environments to like those islands, and like you see like what's underneath, like Hyrule basically underneath the sea. Like, it actually almost like kind of fleshed out Hyrule underneath
like raptured
the sea. Yeah,
basically. Is that the ending? Yeah. Is that the Ocarina ending where like Link dies somewhere on his journey?
There's another separate. It's a break in the timeline.
Yeah, because like, so the thing. I know the thing with Ocarina is that like I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's go. Ask. Okay.
I was gonna say, like, I know the thing with Ocarina is like that's where Miyamoto like basically decided like I'm gonna split the Zelda timeline in 3 different directions here.
Yeah,
basically. One of them is the one where, like, I forget. Like, one of them was the one where Link just straight up dies somewhere on his journey. The other one is where he is able to warn the king, like, hey, yo.
Yeah,
like,
that's the Ocarina's timeline. Yep.
It's like, hey, you guys, like, you guys seriously gotta stop this. Yeah, it's like, you guys actually gotta, like, stop this Ganon dude. Like, he's a legitimate threat. And then there's the third one where he defeats Ganon at the end. Yeah. Right? Did I get that right? Are those the three?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah, that's about it.
And the one where, like, he defeats Ganon at the end, isn't that the one where Majora's is the game that happens after that? And then...
Yeah, because Link goes back to being a kid afterwards.
Yeah.
And then he goes off on his own journey. Yeah.
To Wind Waker is the one where Link straight up dies on his journey somewhere. And then that's when the gods intervene and reincarnates him in that world. Did I get that right? That's the one where Link dies on his journey somewhere in Ocarina. That's the one where Wind Waker comes after that. I can see you're looking at it right now. Like your other monitor is glowing on your face, and it's all white.
Like, you see
it's all white. No, it's all white too. So I know it's a wiki. I know you're looking at a wiki.
It's not a wiki. It's just like this guy's like whole article on like the chronology. But
guys, this is the official Zelda chronology decided by me.
There's actually 3 breaks in the timeline where it's the hero is defeated, and then there is 2 for the hero is triumphant. The child era is when he goes back to being a kid, and then he rats out on Ganon. The other is Ganon is sealed, but he doesn't go back to being a kid. He stays as an adult, and I think that's where the Wind Waker's timeline. I fucking hate this fucking timeline. Like it's such cockamamie type of shit.
Look, the timeline I understand is the 4th one where he just says, fuck it, I'm gonna go beat up all of Nintendo's other All-Stars in Smash Brothers.
And then at the same time, I also know the whole selling point for Hyrule Historia was this fucking timeline.
Yeah.
It was the only reason why that it sold is because everyone was so fucking horny for oh, I need an actual timeline to this whole shit. It's like why? Why do you need one?
Aren't Miyamoto and Onuma the only 2 people alive who actually know the entire Zelda chronology?
I mean, I suppose, yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't think that's... I bet that's still even a company secret. I don't think they tell all their creatives that.
But you say that, but I also like to think that they had no idea what the fuck they were doing when they were making this. The timeline. I have a very strong feeling it's just kind of they had all these games to kind of put on the timeline, and they just kind of yeah, that looked like it goes up there. It was that kind of fucking vibe. Not okay, yo, dad, this is what,
yeah, because, isn't it some fuck shit now where, the first Zelda game chronologically is, the last one now or some shit? I've heard something like that along the pipelines.
Yeah, I heard Breath of the Wild is, way into the future. So it's, Ganon, everyone still knows who the fuck Ganon is, and,
they could do whatever they want, because, they established the lore that, every journey has its one similarity, but it's about the Triforce, but the hero, the princess, and the villain.
And so, the magical triangles.
And so I actually love that, the fact that they keep reincarnating a universe, but there are certain things about the universe that always stays the same. I actually love it when shows do that, too, where, something, it's a completely different timeline, but there's similarities of it. The new Mortal Kombat does that a lot. It's set in a completely new timeline, but then there's some similar things that happen, and then some things that change just slightly, you know what I mean? And one thing that I love that they always do is that, sometimes they'll have the same couple get together to be oh, it doesn't matter what universe, they'll always wind up together, and it's aww, it's like that. And, Zelda does stuff like that, too. And which I think is really cool about it. So it's a good monomyth that they created for themselves with that franchise.
I think the monomyth is much less restrictive, though, than a fucking timeline. Because there's now lore. I mean, there's always been Zelda lore, but, now that it's actually been written on paper, it's, another thing entirely. Where, back in the day, whenever you read the booklets, remember, guys, instruction booklets? Remember that fucking era? That shit was fucking bomb, man. They even had lore in that booklet. That shit was crazy. I love that crap.
I miss those, yeah.
Now we don't even get a fucking manual in our games.
As the attention spans went down because of TikTok and all sorts of dumb shit, Nintendo said, what is the fucking point of wasting our time writing these things? What is the point? Though. I love them too. Some of those are worth money now.
Yeah, I know. Even just mint, still shrink-wrapped games.
I have a lot of them.
Money.
I have a lot of them, bro. I have the handbook for fucking Melee.
Damn.
Oh, I have a physical copy of Melee.
I know.
ever getting rid of that shit. Ever.
Even on a rainy day, don't get rid of it.
No, fuck no. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I have Thousand Year Door. I have that. I still have my physical copy of Thousand Year Door.
Fucking Kirby Air Ride.
I have that. I have Kirby Air Ride too.
Wait,
I'm really happy to have the GameCube games that I have because they're fucking expensive as shit now.
Let me go back to RPG and Zelda for a little bit because now, fast forwarding, like, with at least Nintendo's design choice where like they're bringing just back a lot of older games for the Switch. And I think they even sort of realized too, like, this is the platform we can bring all these older games to. Just because, like, it just did, like, yay! I'm probably gonna finish it today, but
look at this fucking wooden boy.
Yeah, like, yo, he was actually, guys.
Can I say something real quick?
Okay.
There was some motherfucker on Twitter.com who, like, some Zoomer take. I saw a horrible Zoomer take. It had to have been bait. It was like, people have been asking for Geno and Smash Brothers forever. And, like, I played the game finally because there's a remaster, and, like, why is everybody freaking out about this guy? Like, this motherfucker has, like, absolutely no personality, but this little Cloud character has, like, so much of it in spades, and nobody ever talks about him? Like, what the fuck? Like, this is who y'all want in Smash? Steve from fucking Minecraft is literally in Smash Brothers.
What the fuck are you on, man?
You probably like that. You're Zoomer, right? You want to talk about fucking lack of personality? What? What? He's a fucking block who doesn't say shit. My God. Alright, that's all I had to say. Sorry.
Okay. No. And, like, I remember seeing Geno for a long time in a lot of NewGrounds Flash animations.
He was huge on NewGrounds, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, he was just, like, the mascot almost for a lot of, like, Nintendo animation shorts that people made. And I remember there was, like, that whole Smash collab animation that a bunch of guys had made. I think Ross was in that one too. Like, a lot of the OGs were in there. And
the animation collaboration for Ross Forest. Is that what you're talking about?
Was that the name of the title of the animation?
Yeah, the biggest one that blew up on Newgrounds, became, like, culturally internet significant, like the kind of Flash animation that took forever to load because we still had dial-up back then. That's like that shit, man. Like vintage fucking internet childhood stuff. I love it. It's a song called Ross Forest. And it's literally a song. It's the Forest Maze song, but with lyrics and, like, a rap over it and stuff. And there's an animation for it. It's a very famous Flash video. And because of the remaster, they remade it recently. Actually, I think, like, a bunch of artists got together and they redid it.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was really cool. Yeah.
No, it was, like, just a funny parody, like, of Smash kind of collab. It was just, like, them poking fun at the game. And, like, the whole Tears for Queers, the whole thing came from it.
Brawl Taunts. I think that was called
I think
Brawl
so,
Taunts.
yeah. I think so, yeah. It was that one.
They made, like, those collaboration jokes. I remember the one with Peach and Bowser, and, like, Bowser's talking to Peach. He's like, you know what, Peach? It's girls like you that set women back 100 years. Thinking about it,
There was also the villains meeting.
Your most powerful move is your ass. And she hits him with a frying pan. It's like, where'd you get that frying pan? She's like, my kitchen? Oh, you see? I love it, dude. You wear a dress and high heels, and your most powerful move is your ass. Oh.
RPG, we got sidetracked a bit, but, like, I'm almost done with the game. I'm on star 5 now. And it also seems to me the game's kind of moving pretty quickly. But I also grind a lot in that game. Like, I think to a certain extent, I might be over leveled for some fights. I found myself literally just like, I think the gameplay loops for RPGs can be pretty good because it, at least a lot of times, at least in RPGs case, there is some variance that can happen where, like, you can get these, like, little things called lucky, like these little items like get you lucky, and then, like, at the end of the fight you can double your XP or you could double your money. And I was like, the fucking gambler in me was just like, yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah, all double or nothing. And then I sometimes would straight up lose. And then all, like, the XP that I just got from that fight just basically just goes poof into the wind. And like there's even a lot of times where they have like special enemies where like they're a bit stronger than the other normal enemies, and they're like these fucking roided up motherfuckers like that. You thought like, oh yeah, it's nothing, and then he hits you for like 40, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, and then that's at that point like I get kind of like not like focused, but like I focus everything on that fucker because it's just like he's the most powerful one out of everybody. Like everyone else does not matter. This guy matters.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just throw everything we have at him. Like, you know, that scene from Pirates 3 where they line up the two ships and they fucking start blasting away. That's me, like, trying to, like, go for that guy. And
it's just good business.
It's just good business. I fucking love that scene. I love that movie entirely, but...
At least he had the honor to have, like, he's a captain, I have to go down with my ship.
Yeah.
Like, despite having the no honor that he had, he's like, all right, I die here. That's fine. You know,
he just got outplayed. Yeah. It was just like that classic case. I just got outplayed.
I was gonna say the same thing. He just turns to each side, he's like, all right, GG's.
He just gets blasted away.
Lord Beckett. Lord Fuckett.
Order, sir.
Order. I love how he's like, after he says just good business, like the guy next to him is just like,
because he mouthed what he said. He was like, abandoned ship.
Like his jaw literally drops. He's like, this guy just fucking abandoned ship.
Because that guy was right next to him.
Yeah.
So he saw what he said. He heard him, but he was just like, oh no, fuck that. No. Abandoned ship, everybody.
It's like, oh no, fuck that. I don't love this ship that much, bro. Oh. Fucking phenomenal. Yeah.
Fucking love RPG. I'm also
Did you get to the Donkey Kong fucking enemies, like those fuckers with like the chains.
Oh my god, the way it spelled it too, I was just like, hey yo, no way, they actually wrote that.
Yeah.
It's like Gorilla. I felt like Clayton from Tarzan when reading it. It's like Gorilla.
You gotta fight after you beat the game, you gotta fight Culex.
Who's Culex?
I think I told you about that once. It's not a spoiler really because it's a side quest.
Okay.
Like it's an optional boss. It's really cool actually, and it's probably one of the things I'm most looking forward to playing the game. I don't if you've gotten you're at the 5th world. Mm-hmm. So I think you did go to Monstro Town?
Not yet.
Oh, you didn't go to Monstro?
No.
Okay. There's a thing in Monstro Town where eventually you get a certain item and you can get into a sealed door, and there's an optional boss. And it's one of those optional, like, hardest bosses in the game. Like, you know, Pit of 100 Trials.
Oh, like Red Weapon from Final Fantasy?
Red Weapon from Final Fantasy, Pit of 100 Trials, like Bone Tail, you know, like at the end and whatnot. Like
Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts?
Yes, because what I'm saying is that the character that you fight is from the Final Fantasy universe. He's a character they made.
Thanks for spoiling it, David.
No, listen. It's not even spoiling because he's from the Final Fantasy universe. But he's a Mario character. Like, he's not in any Final Fantasy games. Like, he's a character they made for the game. But, like, canonically, he's from the Final Fantasy universe.
Oh, that's cool.
And Dennis, like, I mean, I've told you this before already, so it's not even a spoiler, so you can suck my dick with that. But after you beat him, it's so charming. After you beat him, it goes da 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 da.
I hope they kept that in though. I'm pretty sure they did.
If I'm gonna fucking throw my Switch out a goddamn window if they didn't, I will be actually mad if they took out the victory fanfare. Final Fantasy victory fanfare. That song fucking powers me up so bad. I listen to that when I'm working sometimes. It hypes me up so much. It really gets the creative dopamine juices flowing in my brain. I like it way better than the Final Fantasy VII one. Way better.
Final Fantasy music in general has always just been so fucking hype. Like, going into boss themes even for a bit, like Genova from 7, that fucking theme, like, actually, I think even, there's 3 versions of the song now where it's the original, the Advent Children version, which is like a lot of like kind of alternative rock kind of feel to it, like more guitars into it, more than the keyboard.
Yeah.
But then there's also the remix where they had a progression to it where it's like not really the original song yet. And then by the last phase of one of the Genova fights, that's when like the original song kicks in. And I was just like, Final Fantasy, why do you kill it so much? But why were your games so fucking like for so long? Like 15 could have been amazing. I mean, you know, people, I bet there's like mad people that love 15, but 15 was a very Starfield-y type of game. Now that I think about it,
I hear the combat too was not really perfected until
because I know
7's
remake combat was that combat's but just refined
Yeah.
at that point.
I watched my cousin play Final Fantasy 15 when that game was out, and I'm like, he's just getting in a car, and there's a lot of dialogue, and you're just driving, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Again, it's the
I thought the world was immersive, which was cool.
You know,
but
yeah,
like,
it did too. I did too, yeah.
like, I like when they have these anime-ass looking characters like Final Fantasy
They're
style.
all boy
like,
band guys.
Yeah, but they're in
They're
like a
all,
normal, but they're in like a
K-pop boy band.
normal-ass world, too, which is, like, interesting, yeah, but RPG,
All
man.
I know is that there is a gas station lady that is super hot in there.
Nice.
That's all I know. I forgot her name entirely, but she a
More
blonde.
like the
and
gas station, am I right?
I just wrapping up my thoughts here real quick on RPG, because the game is fucking amazing. I'm not finished with it yet, but I'm gonna finish it today, and I'm very excited, very, very excited as to like what else they're gonna announce remakes wise for from Nintendo, because again, the one that I am still very much waiting for, just because it does not belong in the past, like in the shitty hellhole that it is the Wind Waker remake.
Mm-hmm.
That thing deserves to be on the Switch, and I believe even the Twilight. I think Twilight Princess had a remake. Ported. Never got ported.
Never got ported. They're gonna do Twilight Princess before they do Wind Waker. I'm calling it now.
Fair enough. But if anything, those two games deserve to be on the Switch, because they were both significant for their consoles at the time. And I don't really care. I didn't really care for Skyward Sword personally. If you guys really did love the game, and you know was able to tolerate the Wii U, the whole Wii U Plus bullshit with the combat, and if you found it like enjoyable, which one?
Skyward Sword.
No, I know. I'm just saying though, like it's like we got Skyward Sword, but like I didn't care for Skyward Sword. I wanted Twilight Princess. I wanted Wind Waker, is what I'm saying. And like is the reason why like I hope they at least like, you know, bring those two back, because I think remaking them is going to be a bit of a project in and of itself. So it's kind of like, you know, I can't expect like them to just be releasing those two back to back. I feel as if I kind of agree with David in that like it probably will be Twilight Princess that comes to the Switch more sooner than Wind Waker. I still think Wind Waker still deserves to come back, but and also Thousand Year Door is coming next year. So like, you know, I'm already eating good, like, you know, off of that. So
we're eating
off of also already good, RPG.
Yeah.
So like Nintendo, I think it's just killing it. Like, you know, no offense to Sony, God of War 2, fucking banging ass game. You have to play it because I don't have a PS5, and I'm just waiting until that shit also gets ported over to the PC, like the first God of War. But as far as just like scoreboard, bro, it's Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
It's been Nintendo this year. Like they've just been fucking killing it. Like the Mario movie on top of already like, you know, 2 games of theirs is in the Game of the Year award category, and plenty of others as well. Like fucking RPG, bringing back like a classic old game for the new generation. Thousand Year Door, also another game that they're bringing back for the new generation. Like just very, very like great games that like I think they finally now know like we could milk this remake shit and people will buy it, because for one, the games have already been good. They're not porting over shitty games. Both of those games are like amazing in and of itself. Even like I guess going back to like, I guess the eras that they were in. But for Thousand Year Door, like it's got like an actual like, you know, I thought they weren't really gonna touch it too much, but like it really does look like it belongs in the modern era. Like not that Thousand Year Door was dated in any way, but like the sort of like just kind of little upscaling, a little visual upgrades that they gave it, like off of that trailer that we saw. I mean, it's basically, isn't it the same aesthetic as like the previous Paper Mario? So like
mostly, yeah.
Yeah, it's like at least close to it.
So
like,
it might even look a little better, but I don't know. Like the shading looks a little different. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just upgraded in the modern engine. Yeah.
Which like, you know, I love. And it's not like, oh, it's like Final Fantasy VII's case where it's like it's 7's remake is not a remake. That's an entirely different game. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not a remake.
The way I see it is that there's 3 different types of things, right? There's a port, where it is literally the exact same fucking game. We just put it on a new console, the exact same game. The Mario the 3D collection, all ports. And with some minor touch-ups, I guess, but like it's really like mostly...
It's meant for 1080p. the main thing was that those games were meant for 1080p.
Like, hey, we took this game, it's the exact game, and we uploaded it here. Like, the classic Nintendo games that are on the Switch Online service.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a remaster, which is what Thousand Year Door is. Technically. I mean, if you want to say it's from the ground up because it looks different, then sure. It is literally... No. It is also the same game. Just the graphics are way better. Quality of life, fixes.
Yeah, all the
whatnot.
assets are just kind of upscaled. That's about it.
Yeah, everything's upscaled. It looks way better. That's a remaster because it's still the same game, the same story. It plays the same and whatnot, except we upgraded it for the modern consoles. And then you have Final Fantasy VII, which that is not a remaster because it does not even fucking play anything like the original game does. That is a remake. That is the difference between a remake and a remaster. A remake is when it's like, hey, it's the old game, but we didn't upgrade it. We changed it. It literally plays completely fucking differently now.
I just kind of had it as an umbrella term, but yeah, you're right. It's a completely different game from what everyone grew up with it. With the original, like it's completely different. And I think I even heard many criticisms from before, like saying like this is not the Final Fantasy VII that I grew up with. I'm gonna be real with you guys. If they kept that entire same formula and they kept it as a remaster instead, and it's just like upscaled Cloud, upscaled Barrett, upscaled Tifa and her titties, and just kind of kept the whole same vibe, but it was just okay, like now it's just graphically wise, it's let's say the same as the graphics that we know from remake, but it's just different game. It's the same game from before. I don't think it would have sold well, TBH, because everyone loves, at that time, they loved their fast-paced combat. And it was also, I think, just a product of Square at that point. They loved their fast-paced combat. Kingdom Hearts 3, I think at that point, like that was when, even before then, Final Fantasy 15, that was like their sort of beta testing for like their combat system that we have now, I feel. I'm not, again, this is all hearsay, but from what I at least seen from progression wise, it just seems like that was the whole state of progression that they were going in. Because, we already had it in 13 as well. But 13's combat too was also pretty quick now that I realize it. It wasn't like, attack, go back, wait for them to attack and go back. Like it was a lot more like it's action based.
Yeah.
And even one game that I grew up with that I really loved, it was Knights of the Old Republic. It was a Star Wars game. It was an RPG. And that was made by BioWare. Plus, the combat was a bit kind of the same. It was like turn-based. And like a lot of dice rolls as well. Like a kind of very D&D based.
Yeah.
But the remake that they were making for that, which has been basically postponed indefinitely at this point, they like basically said the combat was going to be more action-based. Which I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Because it's a Star Wars game. I want to swing my fucking lightsaber. I want to kill shit. Like, and I not just attack and go back and then disappearing into a red mist. I want to see them literally fucking get dismembered. But, like, I'm wielding a lightsaber. I should be able to do it. But,
yeah.
Like,
I
don't know. Like, there's a lot of, like, I guess, diehards out there that, like, just, what do you call it? They just loved what they grew up with. It's just that bias.
I mostly played the Mario RPGs growing up. I played, like, literally all of them. Those games were, like, soul games to me. So, I know how you feel.
Same.
So, I'm eating... You think you're eating good. I mean, the thing is, the trouble with working for a company that makes the games 6 days a week is that you don't often get to play the games that they make. But things will change, and I will definitely get the time to do. I haven't even played RPG yet. I literally haven't even played the remaster.
He just flashed me his copy. I was gonna say his copy.
I did. I thought that's what you were gonna say too, because like the word starts the same.
I know. I wanted to get you scared.
No, you're not the person who asked me to do that. That's not you. Yeah, we're done here. RPG remaster. If you were looking forward to that game for a long time, get it. If it's your made for your generation, if you're newer, if you're a Zoomer or whatnot, I'm so happy that you get to experience something that wonderful. Like, I know people who like are full-on Nintendo haters who have been praising the shit out of the RPG remaster. That is how good it is, truly. So, if you haven't tried it, I promise you it's everything. It's the stuff that dreams are made out of. It's the kind of thing that feels like this is a dream Mario game that came to life, but it's real. It's like the kind of thing that fans would dream about having for years, but it's real. That's part of why Nintendo's killing it. They're making a lot of those dreams realities. As much as it kills their ego to just remake their old stuff and have that stuff hit harder.
Their ego is their money. And right now it's making them money, so it's just like their ego's doing pretty good right now, I think.
Yep. That's all. That's pretty much all I got as well. So I mean, if we're wrapping our concluding thoughts here, kids, wear these when you're fucking people. I don't know where that came from. It was just on my desk. It was just like on my desk. You
just have a condom like on your desk when I need a book.
Well, Dennis, sometimes when you go on dates with beautiful ladies, you don't know what's going to happen, and it is better to be safe and be respectful than sorry.
No, just say my pullout game is too good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there you go. That works too. That works too.
Who's like a great competitive player in any video game right now?
At like pulling out?
No, like
the pulling out competitions?
No, like in esports.
Like in just esports in general, like it doesn't matter what game?
Yeah. I'm like ninja. Like thing. I'll pull out real quick. I'm the ninja of my game. Right? That was a terrible joke. Here's our plugs, guys.
Anyway, here's
plugs.
Spotify, please listen there. We've seen some more 5-star reviews. We appreciate that. If you could give us some more, that helps us a lot with our SEO and all other sorts of things. It takes 2 seconds. All you have to do is click a couple buttons on mobile. Just give us a quick 5-star if you want to support the podcast. If you also want to support, like on whatever platform you listen to, you can check us out on Apple Podcasts as well as Google Podcasts, wherever you listen. And on youtube.com/Nintoonist. We appreciate that a lot as well. Be sure to give a like on the video, comment, subscribe. Shoutouts to Riz for answering our question last week that we posted on the episode, which I unfortunately couldn't read because you literally need to see it on frickin' the website. You can't see it like on filtered? Like mobile. It's not even that it's filtered. Here, let me see. Modern open world games. Yeah, we asked, what is your favorite open world game? And Riz said Breath of the Wild. Respectable,
good
Riz.
Good man.
Thank
good
you.
Man.
Thanks, buddy.
You have a motorcycle in that game, from what I remember. So if you really want to like go through the open world, like have some fun with it, you got a motorcycle. So that's pretty fucking cool.
Somebody voted on when I asked, will these new guidelines kill Smash? In the episode we were talking about the new Smash community tournament guidelines. There was somebody voted they can't enforce this. Neat.
So I guess we're just gonna go back to the way things were, right, guys? And then everyone's tournaments is just gonna get shut down.
Like, this one's hype. I didn't see this before. When we for the Barbie movie, we asked, "Would you date someone but no genitals?"
Oh, well,
one person said, "Why the fuck would you ask that?" And then the top one says, "If I truly loved them, then yes."
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Nobody voted for no. I have needs.
Wow, they're fucking lying. That's
you
why.
guys are gaslighting the shit out of me right now.
No, it's because everyone's a fucking liar. I guarantee you, anyone who did not vote for that option, you are a fucking liar.
Or you might be ace. Maybe you're asexual. Maybe you might be asexual and you just don't even care.
I doubt that. There's hell of less asexual people than sexual people. That's a fact.
What do you want Nintendo's next console to be? What do you think it's going to be?
Switch 2!
No, somebody just wrote a Nintendo. Duh. Wow. Okay.
Alright, we're wrapping it up here, guys.
Sorry, I don't know. I got a little distracted just like looking at all these... Because you can only see them on the website. You can't see them on the fucking mobile app for Spotify for podcasters for some reason. It's really... Okay, I'm sorry. One more. I made the animation needs to change one when we were talking about the new deal for animation. I wrote should inside job have been canceled, and I wrote no 6 times, and then the 7th answer is the only one somebody responded to, and it says I still haven't forgiven Adult Swim for the Venture Brothers. Whoever voted for that, you're fucking real. You're real as fuck. I love you. I will never forgive Adult Swim for the Venture Brothers, even if they did let it conclude with a movie. We should have had an 8th season. Y'all can go fuck yourselves. Honestly. Holy shit. Bye. Yeah, we're done. We're done. We love you guys. Bye. We gave you guys the plugs. Share the podcast around, all that good stuff. Follow us on...
I need a shit so bad.
Socials, whatever. We're done. Get RPG. Mwah. Kisses. Mwah.
And get Thousand Your Door when it comes out.
Yes.
Don't be a square.
What is a fucking square?
Yeah, don't be a rhombus, you know what I'm saying? Don't be a parallelogram.
That was a rhombus. It has to be a parallelogram. Good night, guys.
Shit.